Welcome to today's Special Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled to be taking you on a massive journey today. We're going to explore a true global superpower from the ground up, the United States of America. You know, it's often called the land of the free and the home of the brave. And man, does this nation hold some serious global influence. I mean, think about it. From the flashing lights of Hollywood to the cutting-edge space exploration over at NASA, the U.S. is just one of those countries that's constantly moving fast and pushing boundaries. So today, we're going to unpack exactly what makes this country tick. We'll be breaking down the whole shebang, its geography, its history, and its incredibly vibrant culture.
All right, here's our itinerary for today. We'll start with a geographical intro, then move into history, politics, and the economy. After that, we'll check out the natural beauty, hit up some major tourist destinations, and wrap things up with culture and lifestyle. Okay, let's jump right into Section 1, America, a Geographical Intro. Take a look at the staggering number, 9,833,517. That right there is America's total land area in square kilometers. It makes it the third largest country in the world, sitting right behind Russia and Canada. But you know, this isn't just some random trivia fact. This massive landmass is bordered by oceans spanning nearly 20,000 kilometers. That gives the U.S. this unparalleled geographic security, not to mention a totally wild abundance of natural resources that really fuels its massive economic engine. And within those massive borders, you get some absolute extremes. On one end of the spectrum, you've got the soaring, freezing peak of Denali up in Alaska, reaching over 20,000 feet into the sky. And then, on the complete opposite end, you could literally stand baking in Badwater Basin down in California's Death Valley, which is actually 282 feet below sea level. It's crazy. This staggering variety of terrain shapes completely different ways of life depending on where you happen to be standing. And because the country is just so unimaginably vast, traveling across it literally means traveling through time. No, really. A cross-country trip will take you through 6 distinct time zones. You start on the East Coast with Eastern Standard Time, which, to put it in perspective, is 9.5 hours behind India, and then you shift backward through Central, Mountain, and Pacific times, eventually reaching all the way back to the Alaskan and Hawaiian zones. Moving right along to Section 2, History, Politics, and Economy. So the birth of this nation happened at just a blistering pace. It kicks off with European arrival back in 1492, but the true spark, that ignited on July 4th, 1776, when 13 British colonies declared their independence. By 1788, this really groundbreaking constitution was put into place. But as you might guess, this rapid growth came with some deep fractures. It eventually led to a brutal civil war in the 1860s, a defining crucible that ended the absolute horrors of slavery and forced the incredibly arduous task of reuniting a totally broken country. And you know, that spirit of reunification is perfectly captured by the motto you'll find on the Great Seal, E pluribus unum, out of many, one. It really tells the story of how 13 fiercely independent, very diverse colonies, which, by the way, are represented by those alternating red and white stripes on the flag, managed to become a single superpower. Today, those original 13 have expanded into 50 stars, uniting 50 totally unique states under one banner. Now, to manage 50 unique states, America relies on a very specific operating system. It's a constitutional republic and a representative democracy. Basically, power is meticulously balanced between a central federal government and the individual state governments. And sitting right at the top of the executive branch is the president, who carries the immense weight of being both the head of state and the head of government at the exact same time. Economically speaking, America boasts the world's largest GDP, and it's powered by this really fascinating mixed system. It's primarily driven by free market capitalism, right? Which means a massively strong private sector and just relentless technological innovation. But this hyper-competitive market is actually balanced by elements of public support and socialism, where the government takes a really active role in critical sectors. Think healthcare, education, and infrastructure. It's exactly this unique and honestly often debated blend that keeps their economic engine roaring. All right, let's take a breath of fresh air for Section 3, Natural Beauty and Diversity. The physical lifeblood of the U.S. really flows through its vital waterways. The Missouri is technically the longest, but the Mississippi River is the true heavy hitter here. Stretching over 3,700 kilometers, it practically divides the East from the West. Historically, it's been this massive highway driving trade and agricultural expansion. And further southwest, the mighty Colorado River shows off nature's sheer power. I mean, it literally carved out the breathtaking Grand Canyon over millennia. How cool is that?
And because of its sheer size, America contains virtually every climate zone imaginable. You've got year-round humidity down in Florida and Hawaii, mild coastal weather in California, intense snowy winters in the Midwest, dry heat in the Nevada deserts, and freezing Arctic winds up in Alaska. This extreme environmental diversity doesn't just shape the landscape, it dictates the local industries, the architecture, and even the distinct cultural attitudes of the people who live there. Their dedication to protecting all this immense biodiversity is super evident in a vast, world-renowned national park system. With over 430 park sites, they protect a stunning array of ecosystems. In fact, Yellowstone actually holds the historic title of the world's very first national park. These protected lands serve as sanctuaries for iconic wildlife, too, including the powerful bald eagle, which symbolizes freedom, and the majestic American bison, which is recognized as the national mammal.
Next up, Section 4, Major Tourist Destinations.
Okay, so the human-made marvels of America are just as diverse as its nature. Each major city operates almost like its own mini-country with a totally unique flavor. You've got the towering skyscrapers and the Statue of Liberty in New York, the city that never sleeps. Then you can experience the cinematic magic of Hollywood over in Los Angeles, the architectural beauty of San Francisco's Golden Gate Bridge, the heavy political gravity of Washington, D.C., the dazzling neon nightlife of Las Vegas, and of course the family-friendly wonder of Walt Disney World down in Orlando. And for all you history buffs out there, the U.S. is home to some incredibly well-preserved UNESCO World Heritage sites. You can literally walk the very halls of Independence Hall in Philadelphia, where the Declaration of Independence was actually signed. There's also Monticello in Virginia, which is the brilliant architectural home of Thomas Jefferson, and the historic European-style forts of Puerto Rico. These sites offer a direct, tangible window right into the nation's revolutionary past. Finally, we arrive at Section 5, Culture, Food, and Lifestyle. American culture is highly expressive, and its festivals are a vibrant reflection of the country's diverse, melting pot roots. Down in New Orleans, Mardi Gras erupts in these colorful parades deeply influenced by French and Spanish heritage. Over in New Mexico, the sky just fills with color during the Albuquerque Balloon Fiesta. Meanwhile, events like Burning Man out in the Nevada desert celebrate radical self-expression. Coachella pretty much dictates global music and fashion trends, and the Kutztown Folk Festival honors deep German roots in Pennsylvania. It's quite the mix. The culinary landscape is just as diverse as the geography, really acting as the ultimate comfort food that's been successfully exported all over the world. I mean, we're talking classic cheeseburgers and street food hot dogs to rich, gooey macaroni and cheese. Down south, you'll find incredible fried chicken and slow-cooked barbecue ribs, while the coastal areas offer spicy gumbo and creamy clam chowder. And obviously, no meal is complete with traditional desserts like a warm slice of apple pie or a tart key lime pie. Now, to truly understand the American everyday lifestyle, you really have to understand their profound passion for sports. American football, basketball, baseball, and ice hockey, these aren't just weekend hobbies, guys. They are a passionate way of life. The culture as a whole highly values success, self-reliance, and independence. And this intensely competitive, deeply loyal spirit is absolutely best seen in how fans totally devote themselves to supporting their favorite national and local teams. So if you're feeling inspired to make the roughly 12,000-kilometer journey from a place like Delhi, we've pulled out some essential logistical and cultural tips from our sources just for you. Obviously, you got to secure your passport and U.S. visa first, but culturally, take note of a few things. Strictly avoid smoking in public places. Always remember to leave a good 15 to 20% tip at restaurants because it's a huge part of their service economy. And finally, because Americans highly value their independence, always respect people's personal space. Wow, we have covered a massive amount of ground today, haven't we? From the dizzying, freezing heights of Denali to the bustling neon streets of Times Square, all the way to the rich taste of Southern BBQ. The United States is this ongoing experiment in uniting vast differences under one single banner. So, my final question to you is, which part of this incredibly diverse American experience would you want to explore first? Let us know, leave a comment below, and keep your curiosity alive until our next explainer. Catch you next time.